Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Tea with Fee. My name's Fee and I'm putting the sound up. And you're watching Tea with Fee and it is live at 5 on Friday, the 5th of May. Thank you so much for joining me. It's absolutely beautiful here today. Wasn't earlier, but it's turned out lovely. And for anybody that has not been here before, I am Fiona and I live in the Isle of Man, and this is Make It So HQ, which is the shed in my garden. And I tend to have a chat every Friday about what's been going on in Make It So, or a topic that I have been working on this month. So grab yourself something. I've just got decaf tea today. Get a little craft of your choice and let's have a quick chat. So I just wanted to follow up on this month's blog post that I did. So I've not been blogging consistently for ages, but I did a blog post in May because it's all about mental health awareness. So was April. This month it's also to do with mental health awareness and stuff. And I just wanted to sort of touch on that a little bit more to do with the benefits of crafting. So if you want to read any more about that, the link is in the description, and you can read this month's blog, which was about basically pick one project to work on consistently this month and see the benefits. So yeah, go check that out on my website. Link is in the description, and whilst you're there you can sign up to my newsletter as well, and then you'll get more useful crafty news sent straight to your inbox, which would be amazing, and I would love to see you there and send it to you. So the topic was pick one project to work on consistently this month, and you're probably wanting to know why that's a good thing. So the benefits of picking just one thing rather than dipping out are quite a few. So for example, if you do work on just one project for the full month, you will be able to see significant progress, more so than you would see on having 4 or 5 projects that you're dipping in and out of. Another interesting one which you might not have thought of is the time you spend deciding which project you're going to work on today is time spent not working on a project. So if you already know that you're going to work on a specific project for this month, then you're taking out that decision making time and you can just enjoy the making process. So that's another benefit. And then the other thing that's quite obvious, I would say, is the feeling of finishing something is absolutely amazing. So here is my show and tell. Dun, dun, dun. The Blue Lady is finished, and I cannot tell you how elated I am that I have finally finished this. So Betty, I finished it. I'm going to get it framed, and it's either going to go in the shed somewhere or it's going to go in my office. And then when I look at it, I'll think of Betty, who was the person that gave me it. But the sense of satisfaction I got from finishing that was absolutely amazing, especially because it's been lurking around unfinished for 5 years. So to be able to tick something off of my to-do list that was 5 years old felt absolutely amazing. So they are some of the benefits to just concentrating on one thing. Now, it's not easy because if you're like me, you will have lots of things and you want to do all of the things now. So making the decision to just do the one is quite tricky. However, I did spend the majority of my time doing this in April, and I am so glad that I did because it's finished and it feels amazing to have finished something. So this is my challenge to you for May, is to pick one thing and concentrate on that. Which leads me nicely on to my next point. How do you decide which one to choose? So, as I just said a minute ago, you've probably got loads. But until you know how many you've got and what you've got, you can't really make a good decision on which one to do next and which one to focus your attention on. So step 1, go round up all the projects and get them all together so that you can have a good look at them. And I would love to know in the comments, where is the most random place that you have your items stored? So I would love to know that. Comment below if you have stuff stored in really random places, like kitchen cupboards, or in the cupboard under the stairs, behind the sofa, that kind of thing. So I would be really interested to see. Or when you're going through, go around the house pulling out all of those projects and getting them all together. How many of them have you forgotten about that you didn't even remember that you had? I would love to know the answer to that as well. Hi, Elaine. So yeah, so where is the most random place that you have items stored? So then the next step is you need to go through all of these items and decide if they still fill you with joy or you're excited about gifting them to somebody. And if that is the case, they can stay in the pick one pile. If they don't fall into those two categories, that's a topic for another day, but just put them in one pile together and they will then get looked at another time. So you might need a pile, you might need a bag, you might need a box, you might need a room just for those ones that you've started, but you've just kind of lost the enthusiasm for. So, you know, I don't know how big your stash is or your work in progress is, but maybe you want to share that. I don't know. So yeah, so we're going to worry about them another time. So just put them to one side for now. And then see what you've got left. So whatever you've got left, we're going to use those to work out which one we're going to pick to do for me. So what I like to do, which is not going to be a surprise, is I put all of mine in my planner, because you know that I love a planner. So I have a new planner for 2023. I wrote down all of my projects in the front for 2023, having gone through the 2022 list. Did I still feel joy about it or not? And if I didn't, it got not binned, but it didn't make it into 2023. So write your list down. If you've not got a planner, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can go and buy one if you want one. I love it because it's for all the crafts. A lot of the planners are just for a specific craft, whereas this covers all of them, and I like to do quite a few. So this is one of my go-to products that I like to have. So you get all your all your items, you stick them in your list, and then you might be surprised by the next step in this process. The next step, hi Ashley, I'm going to struggle to reply. Oh, where did you get your log cabin kit from? I would love to know. As I was saying, so the next step you're going to be a little bit surprised at. So the next step is not just look at all the lovely projects and pick the one you want to do. The next step in the process is get your calendar out, get your diary out, get your phone out, and I want you to look at the month ahead and when you can carve out some crafting time for yourself. Now that could be an hour a week, that could be every night sitting watching the television, that could be all day on a Saturday, but you've only got one Saturday of the month and that's your only time. So everybody's different, but if you don't know how much time you have got that you can allocate to that process, then it's difficult to decide which project that you're going to do next. So my next step in the process is get your calendar out and work out what time that you have got in this month to do some crafting. And if need be, this is what I do. I actually put an appointment in my calendar with myself to do crafting, and I color code it, obviously. But yeah, so that's what I would do. I would look at your calendar, work out where you can fit that time in, and that leads us on to the next step. And what you might be thinking at this point before we move on to picking the project is, I don't have time. Well, my challenge back to you is that if this is something that fills you with joy and makes you feel happy, you will be a much nicer person to everybody around you if you can fit some time into your schedule this month to spend some time doing something that you love. So re-look at that calendar and see if you can eke out some time to do something just for you. So one thing you could do is, depending on, and there is an irony here because you're watching this on your phone and you're not, well, you might be crafting whilst you work, whilst you watch. So, you know, we can multitask. You could be crafting whilst you're listening to me. But as a rule, How much time are you spending scrolling aimlessly on social media? Hands up, I do that quite a lot. That I could actually put my phone down for half an hour and go and do something towards this month's craft project in that half an hour instead. So that is something to consider. So the next step is think about what your needs are right now and how much time you have based on your previous step, which is to work out how much time you've got. So everybody's different. You know where you're at now, or you might not have asked the question. So I'm asking the question now, what is going to work best for you? So is it, I need to get a couple of quick wins under my belt and see the list of things go down and that'll make you feel great? Or you just want a fresh start and you want to just put everything to one side and you just want to work on something new? So you need to work out which of those two categories you fall into, or you might fall into a separate category altogether. But you need to work out what it is that your needs are right now. It could be you've got a deadline for a gift for somebody, and that by default then has to be the item that you work on for me. So that is the challenge. So for me, trying to decide which projects to do in May, I picked 2 projects, and I will explain why. So I need a sit and watch the telly with my family project and something that I can take to crafternoon tea on a Thursday and every other Saturday. So that needs to be portable and it needs to be quite small. So I opted for the cross stitch that I'm working on at the minute, which is from this book, Cross Stitch for the Heart, which I talked about the other day. And it is going to look like this when it finishes. Be the reason someone smiles today. How cute is that? So I decided this was going to be my sit and watch the telly, take to crafternoon tea project for this month. Now, the reason that I have 2 projects is this is a sit and do in company project, because if you're like me, if you're crafty, there's a good chance you can't just sit and do nothing. You need to be doing something whilst you're chatting. So that ticks that box. However, I also need some sewing time, which / me time on my own to do something that's just for me that helps me to recharge my batteries. Which doesn't involve spending time in the company of other people, which might sound selfish. However, it makes me a much nicer person to be around if I actually get that little bit of time on my own to just chill and do something. And in this case, it's the quilt. So I have been really lucky because there's been a lot of football on over the last few days that I've got quite a lot of this quilt. It's nowhere near finished, but I have got quite a lot of it done. So my 2 projects are this buttercup quilt, which is the Tilda buttercup quilt. Let me show you the picture. So I'm working on that as my me time project, and then when I'm not working on that, I'm working on this one when I'm in company. And I do not expect to finish this quilt in May, so that is not one of the criteria for picking one project. This is just, I wanted to pick something that was a me time project and it's going to be a long-term thing. And the point of that one is a mindful exercise and just to go through the repetitive process of sewing all the different bits in all the different stages. So I don't expect to get that finished in May. This might get finished in May. Again, I haven't done enough cross stitch to work out how long things are going to take. So I'm hoping it will be finished in May. Again, I'm not going to be devastated if it's not, but I will know for definite that by the end of May, I will have made significant progress on this if I was to be dipping in and out of lots of different projects. So that is the next step. So once you've done that, the next thing you need to do, and this is the hard bit, is you need to put everything else away. So you're going to pack up all the other projects. They're going to put them out of sight and you are just going to concentrate on those 1 or 2 projects that you have selected. Okay? And as stated in the benefits at the beginning of this conversation, It means because you're not thinking about, you've got this big mound of projects and spend half an hour working out which one you're going to do. That half an hour spent working out which one you're going to do, you've not actually done anything. So because you've taken that out of the process, you literally just grab the project and just crack on. So it's absolutely like a bonus tip. So pack up all the other ones and just concentrate on the one or two, depending on if you've got a similar thing going on to me, that you're going to work on for this month. If you're in the category of what's going to work for you this month is lots of quick wins.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Can you hear my... I don't know why it does that. If you're in the category of...
I'm listening.
Shh. If you're in the... I don't even know what she's saying. Right. If you're in the category of you want a lot of quick wins, you need to look through your pile of items and then work out which ones you can get through quickly and possibly prioritize them into the order that you think you're going to work through them and get through them the quickest, and put all the rest of the items away. And the final point is, once you've done that, you can just enjoy the month ahead making the projects that you have picked out and anticipating your next crafting appointment with yourself because you've already planned that into your calendar for the month. And interestingly, if you think about how you feel when you've got a holiday coming up or Christmas is coming up or just time off work and how excited you get, and things don't seem as hard or as stressful because you think, oh, well, I'm going on holiday or I've got a couple of days off. Booking time in for crafting has exactly the same effect as that because you've got something to look forward to built into your calendar. So you might have something stressful coming up, but you might then think, oh, but I can spend an hour working on whatever it is and that's going to make me feel good. So that helps you to get through the thing that you're not looking forward to. So it has loads of benefits booking that into your calendar. So, quick chat today. What I would love to know now is, you might not know the answer to this right now because I'm guessing, as per the whole topic of this conversation, that all of your craft projects are not handy and you don't know what they all are off the top of your head. So come back to me with a little list of what you plan to work on in May, okay? And then as a little bonus tip to yourself, what I would encourage you to do is, as you are crafting throughout the month of May, jot down how you feel when you're crafting, because to look back on that, it will help you to realise how important it is that you fit it into your calendar. So it could be something like you were really stressed until you started doing whatever it is, and then within 10 minutes of getting your cross stitch out, you could feel your stress levels come down, smile goes back on your face, and suddenly the stress is gone. So document those occasions because it will help you to then reinforce how important it is in your life to do these crafting activities. So a good example of that is when I do my sewing lessons. People can come into sewing lessons quite harassed because they could be coming straight from work. They could just have had difficult children to deal with before they get here, and they come in and they're feeling a little bit flustered, and by the time the machine is out of the bag, the coat's off, a cup of tea's in front of them, you literally can just see the stress levels disappear. You know, the relax happens, the smiles get bigger, and everything is basically just left at the door, and it's 2 hours of just me time. And it is amazing how quickly those 2 hours go. So they are more benefits of just escaping with craft. So comment below, as I said. Don't forget to check out the blog. The link will be in the description if you want some more like chunky detail based on what I've been talking about today. And have a brilliant weekend. And hopefully I will see you next week. Thanks for watching Tea with Fee. Enjoy the coronation this week. Who's crafting for the coronation? I'm going to do some tomorrow whilst I'm just watching what's going on. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.